What is cancel culture? What does it mean to be canceled, and who has been canceled? To simply put, cancel culture is the idea of taking away support for an individual, their career, popularity, and or fame because of something they said or done that's considered unacceptable. To be canceled is effectively to be boycotted. Hello everyone, and I'm your host for today, Emily, and today we are counting down our list of the top 10 celebrities that seem to get canceled every month. Number 10. Kanye West. Kanye has sadly lost fans throughout 2022 as he has continued making bizarre rants that have contained anti-Semitic sentiments. He's also been asked by his ex-wife Kim Kardashian to stop publicly revealing messages sent to her or her former partner Pete Davidson to his masses of followers on social media. 2022 has been the culmination of years of outbursts that have been damaging his reputation. It all started in 2009 when Kanye stormed the stage when Taylor Swift won at the VMAs and he declared that Beyonce should have won instead. His streaming and physical sales have declined as a response to all of this, and it's reported that he's lost billions in sponsorship deals. His onslaughts have felt more sustained and intentional, and there have been calls for him to attend therapy, with fans saying they're seriously worried for his mental health. After losing the big brand deals and basically being kicked out of Calabasas, I think it's time he took some time to reflect and make some major life adjustments. Number 9. James Corden. The most recent victim of cancel culture is English actor and comedian James Corden, following a temporary ban from a New York restaurant because of the way he treated staff. The owner, Kelly McNally, took on Instagram to publicly announce the ban to his 88,000 followers, saying that James Corden was the most rudest customer to my Balthazar servers since the restaurant opened 25 years ago, and going on to share two managers' reports from when Corden had visited. The most recent, from October 2022, explained how Corden had reacted to the restaurant making a mistake with his wife's order, saying, James Corden began yelling crazy things to the server, "You can't do your job, you can't do your job, maybe I should go into the kitchen and cook the omelet myself." Honestly, James, maybe you should have, and then you would have understood what it's like to work in a fast-paced, high-end restaurant. The post went viral and led to many people calling for Corden to be cancelled, as well as a slew of unverified anecdotes of people's experiences with Corden. Number 8. Will Smith. I'm sure we all remember the slap at the Oscars that saw the canceling of Will Smith. At the awards show in the spring 2022, the Hollywood actor shocked the audience and viewers when he stormed the stage and slapped comedian Chris Rock, who was presenting an award. Chris made an ill-judged joke about Will's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head, even though she shared her experiences with alopecia. After Smith made the appearance on stage, he continued to show his anger by repeatedly shouting, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth." Will Smith apologized for his actions in a statement the next day, saying, "Violence in all forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable." He went on to add, "Jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line, I was wrong. I am embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There's no place for violence in a world of love and kindness." He also resigned from his position as a member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and has been banned from the Oscars for 10 years. Number 7. Jimmy Carr. Jimmy Carr's Netflix special, His Dark Material, released in late 2021, caused outrage. In a clip from the show, which originally aired on Christmas Day, the comedian makes a joke about how no one wants to talk about the positives of the fact that thousands of people in the traveling community were killed by German soldiers. The comment referred to the Holocaust, in which an estimated 500,000 Roma and Sinti people in Europe were murdered by the Germans, and he has been slammed by various charities along with then PM Boris Johnson and MPs. The Travelers Movement's official Twitter account posted a response to the comment saying, "This is truly disturbing and goes way beyond humor. We need your support in calling this out." While CEO of the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust, Olivia Marks Wildman, shared a statement online which read, "We are absolutely appalled at Jimmy Carr's comment about prosecution and horrified that gales of laughter followed his remarks. Hundreds of thousands of Roma and Sinti people suffered prejudice, slave labor, sterilization, and mass murder simply because of their identity. These are not experiences for mockery." Number 6. J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter series, was another famous cancellation of the last couple years. The multimillionaire took to Twitter in support of Maya Forster, a researcher who was fired from her job after she tweeted that people cannot change their biological sex in a comment that has been labeled as transphobic. Rowling tweeted in response, "Dress however you please, call yourself whatever you like, sleep with any consenting adult who will have you, live your best life in peace and security, but force women out of their jobs for stating that sex is real. Hashtag I stand with Maya." While the author has been praised for some of her previous efforts to defend LGBTQ+ people, she has since been labeled a TERF, a trans exclusionary radical feminist, by her critics. In 2017, Rowling liked a tweet that promoted an article seen to be transphobic, and she liked another tweet that referred to trans women as men in dresses earlier that same year. Following the Harry Potter books, she released more books under the pseudonym Robert Galbraith. Rowling has explained that the name came from one of her personal heroes and a childhood name she invented for herself. However, Robert Galbraith is also the name of a man who invented conversion therapy, a treatment to change a person's sexual orientation or suppress their gender identity. Many were quick to point out that this information is available with a simple Google search, something they say Rowling should have done herself. Number 5. Chris Noth. Following the reemergence of actor Chris Noth as Mr. Big in Sex and the City reboot, and just like that, two women approached The Hollywood Reporter accusing him of assault. The women, who did not know each other and remain anonymous in the piece, alleged that he took advantage of them. The first, who goes by Zoe, said that she met Noth when she was 22 years old and living in Los Angeles, and that he would regularly visit the place she worked for business. The second woman, who told her story under the name Lily, told the publication that she was working in the VIP section of a New York nightclub as a waitress in 2015 when she met the actor. Now, Chris Noth denies all claims made against him, telling the paper that the accusations were categorically false and the encounters were consensual. He said, "These stories could have been from 30 years ago or 30 days ago. No always means no. That is a line I did not cross. The encounters were consensual. It's not difficult to question the timing of these stories coming out. I don't know for certain why they're surfacing now, but I do know that I did not assume these women." Shortly after the allegations were made public, Sarah Jessica Parker, along with co-stars Cynthia Nixon and Kristen Davis, issued a statement in support of the women. "We are deeply saddened by the allegations against Chris Noth. We support the women who have come forward and shared their painful experiences. We know it must be a very difficult thing to do, and we commend them for that." Number 4. Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen, model, television host, and best-selling cookbook author, was arguably the most famous to those in the Twitter sphere for her honest, witty observations and jokes that leveled at widely criticized political figures. She's gained a multi-million person following over the last few years and even managed to warrant an outburst from former President Donald Trump on the platform. One of those people who Chrissy had leveled her tweets at years before revealed the dark side to the star's online habits. Kourtney Son said they first met the model when they were 16 years old after marrying acting coach Doug Hutcherson, who is 34 years their senior. Kourtney was considered the butt of a joke among others. Teigen directed her barbs straight at the reality star. In May 2021, Teigen made a statement about the controversy. "Not a lot of people are lucky enough to be held accountable for all their past BS in front of the entire world. I am mortified and sad at who I used to be. I was an insecure, attention-seeking troll. I am ashamed and completely embarrassed at my behavior, but that is nothing compared to how I made Kourtney feel," she wrote on Twitter. Other than the removal of her cookware line from Macy's and Twitter-based public condemnation, Teigen hasn't faced many repercussions for her actions against Kourtney. Number 3. Ellen DeGeneres. One of the most famous cancellations that happened was of the American television show host Ellen DeGeneres. She came under fire after BuzzFeed News posted an article where former members of her staff claimed that the star created a toxic work culture. Former employees claimed that DeGeneres is not the same person she appears to be on the show when the cameras stopped rolling. Instead, one claimed she was demeaning, and her senior executives failed to follow through with her famous tagline of "Be kind." One former employee also claimed that her top senior producers made racist comments and contributed to microaggressions on set. At the beginning of season 18 of her show, DeGeneres said, "I learned that things happened here that should have never happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I'm sorry to the people who were affected." Now, despite the apology, the Ellen Show came to an end in May 2022. Number 2. Piers Morgan. Very few people who don't know who British journalist turned television presenter Piers Morgan is, or why he's been cancelled numerous times. In one segment alone, he managed to mock minority communities by taking aim at the BBC's plan to teach children gender diversity, saying that he identified as a penguin, and was accused of sexist remarks towards co-host Susanna Reid. "It's not fine that the BBC should be doing this," he said in response to the plan. When Reid attempted to defuse the situation, he added, "You women moan as well. Women have it so hard, don't they? They have it so hard. But you and your massive salary, working 4 days a week, come on." Even before this point, there had been multiple calls for ITV to sack the controversial host, though he appeared to redeem himself after successfully holding a handful of politicians to account during the pandemic. Soon afterwards, Morgan quit Good Morning Britain after a clash with a colleague over comments he made about Meghan Markle's interview with Oprah. In the episode, he said that he did not believe that Markle had wanted to take her own life. The comments were slammed by mental health campaigners internationally, along with numerous celebrities, and over 41,000 people registered complaints against him. And coming in at number 1 is Jeremy Clarkson. The last of 2022's cancellings was Jeremy Clarkson. In his Sun column, he wrote that he hoped Meghan Markle would be paraded around the streets naked and that he hates her. He has since apologized, although equality organizations have criticized his apology as skimming around the edges of a comment that was more damaging than he acknowledged. It's too early to tell, but Clarkson is hugely popular with TV viewers, and with a second series of Clarkson's Farm due earlier this year, there's too much money on the line for him to fall victim to cancel culture. The series earned him a whole new legion of fans, expressing the softer side of the Carr man's personality, so producers will likely be keen to keep him mum until that drops. And a new series of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is on the way too, with Clarkson in the driving seat. Given his heritage of saying bad things and getting away with it, he'll probably continue to do that in the same vein. Well, that's our list of the top 10 celebrities that seem to get cancelled every month. Do you like any of these celebs? Comment down below. I'm your host Emily, and I'll see you next time. Peace.